Welcome back to Jersey Matters. A new book captures New Jersey's rich history in photographs, maps, and paintings from the dinosaurs, and that's a tough photograph to get, to today. It's called Envisioning New Jersey, an illustrated history of the Garden State. And its creators are Seton Hall's Maxine Lurie and Monmouth University's Richard Veit. They're joining me now to show us some of these amazing photographs, just in time for the holidays, right? Just out in time for as a holiday present. 654 photos, Maxine?
Yes, from 150 places.
And you chose the pictures to tell a story?
Yes, absolutely. We wanted to tell the history of New Jersey through images.
Well, let's start looking at some of these images, and we might as well start down the shore.
So one of our favorite pictures is of Long Branch. It shows the bluffs in Long Branch and a bunch of well-dressed ladies, probably from the 1920s. And we got this from the Long Branch Public Library. And Long Branch was once the resort of presidents. And this is sort of the tail end of that period. It's a beautiful, beautiful image.
And Maxine, the governor just came out and announced that they're going to renovate the State House. You have a picture of what the State House used to look like.
Yes, this is a picture of the original State House, which was started in 1791. And what's really fun about it is that it's actually inside the existing building today.
And now we go on to one of the favorite sons, Thomas Edison.
That's right, Thomas Edison's Menlo Park lab, where he invented so many of the things that transformed our lives, from the incandescent light bulb to recorded sound.
You know, I'm going to stay with you for a second, only because we're going to stay at Monmouth University. And there was a bit of a controversy with Woodrow Wilson, not only here, but at Princeton. Tell me about this picture.
That's right. So Woodrow Wilson ran his re-election campaign from the Jersey Shore, and he stayed on our campus in a building that no longer stands called Shadow Lawn. And the picture you're seeing shows him giving a speech at a Democratic sort of convention.
That's amazing. Oh, this photo just tears your heart apart.
Yeah, the photographer got this right after Superstorm Sandy. And it really shows the destruction. The building was taken down afterwards. I mean, there was no way it could be saved.
No, everybody remembers that. Oh, here's the beginning of television.
Yeah. RCA, David Sarnoff, was a New Jerseyan who is influential in bringing TV to people's houses, and this is a production line in Camden, New Jersey.
And this, what are we looking at here?
Okay, this is at Seabrook, which was the largest producer of vegetables, frozen and I think canned vegetables too, during World War II. South Jersey Farm, and that was Japanese children whose parents came to work at Seabrook.
And the Cherry Hill Mall, one in South Jersey. Everybody knows the Cherry Hill Mall.
And the Cherry Hill Mall is important because it's the first enclosed mall in the eastern United States, one of the first malls in the United States, period. I think it goes up in 1961. And this is a postcard photo. So imagine going to the mall and being so excited about it that you bought a postcard to send to friends.
And I guess part of the history of New Jersey is also part of the history of the nation and how it played out here. For instance, suffrage.
Sure. Oh, sure. This is the women who supported the suffrage movement, who came into Newark Harbor, really with the sign on the tugboat.
And this is the Newark Airport?
Yeah, yes. Newark Airport, how it has changed. This is in the 1930s, and I think what we're looking at here is the first flight from Newark to Los Angeles, nonstop. And that must have been quite an adventure in the 1930s.
And TWA, which no longer exists, right. was a big, I remember, they were big with the Newark Airport. Well, and we mentioned a second ago, Maxine, that part of the nation's history also played out in New Jersey, and we see it with this picture.
Sure, this is a Democratic convention, and what you're seeing are the protesters who were protesting the seating of a Mississippi delegation that didn't have black members.
Yeah, it was an enormous story at the time, and part of that story really changed the course of history. Yes. That played out in Atlantic City. Oh, I don't remember any of these cars.
So this is a photo that shows downtown Toms River in the 1950s. It's one of the earliest color photos we had. And it's such an interesting time period because these main streets are going to be replaced by the malls in a decade or two. But Toms River was thriving.
Oh, and here he is. Yeah, this is a former governor, right?
Yes, we have Governor Florio here on the grounds of Drumthwacket, the governor's mansion, at an Easter egg hunt with his family, and those are a long-standing tradition.
This is appropriate to end with this. This is one of the most iconic sites in the state.
This is the Vietnam Memorial in Homedale, and there is a museum that's right next to it. The memorial lists the names of all of those in New Jersey who died in the war, so yeah, it is an iconic
And I guess your
site.
hope would be that some of the people that buy your book, that read your book, that see these images will visit some of these places.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes, yes.
Thank you for taking us through just some of the pictures. We only showed about a dozen. Again, you have 654. Maxine Lurie from Seton Hall and Monmouth University's Richard Veit, Envisioning New Jersey, an illustrated history of the Garden State. It would, I would say, be a must-have if you are into the history of New Jersey or just love New Jersey. And that's Jersey Matters for this week. I'm Larry Menti. Another Thing is next.